Well, an honor to be here with you guys today. We're going to be talking about the city of Orlando, how we do government, how we deal, how we navigate government with the city of Orlando. But before we do that, I've got to tell you, I have to follow the words of Congresswoman Davies because she's right on point. And I know that lady you guys are talking about. Tony Ortiz changing parties. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because silence is no longer an option. So, things are happening out there, so we need to make sure that we keep our community abreast. The greatest things that are happening does not include communication and collaboration, which is what government is all about. C-squared, keep it just like that, keep it simple. It works for everything. It works for your marriage, it works for your relationships, and communication and collaboration, especially in this day and age, government. If we're not listening to the people, we cannot do good government. And God gave us 2 years to listen, 1 mouth to speak. So let's listen more, and let's work more, and let's talk less. So, the status of government as we see it today is very controversial. And it's really hard to know where we go if we don't know how to navigate government. And what we're trying to do here is to try to keep Washington and the state of Florida away from what we have been able to gain and to achieve here in the Central Florida region. We work together. We don't look at partisanship. We look at how to solve the issues out there. There's a pothole out there. The pothole doesn't say I'm a Republican or Democrat. We need to fix it, right? But we need to communicate. And that's not happening. So we need to go back to those standards. And in talking about communication, most people don't know that we live in a decentralized nation. How many of you understand the concept of decentralization of government? These are things that we touch in our academy because it's not difficult. Most of us Latinos, we come from centralized government, where anything we do, we have to go and talk to the legislature. We go to one of our commissioners or our mayor, and the mayor, they have their hands tied because the legislature is controlling them. America is different. You have a 5-level basic set of government form, which is the federal government, the state government, you have the school board, you have your counties, you have your municipalities. And each one of them have different traits. We all work together. It's like a tossing salad, right? But we all, at the end of the day, we're all working together. And we must understand how that works, because when you're doing business with a city, or with any city, region, you need to understand that you need to register with each and every one of those cities or institutions of government. We have, for example, we have sky builders here that know a lot about that, because sky builders have been representing the construction industry for a long time, and they understand what it is to register with the airport, with the county, with the city, with the school board. So understanding those basic principles about government and how that affects us is paramount. Sometimes we go after, we hear people talking at different levels, but we don't understand what their duties are at the federal level. When we had Congresswoman Valdez, she was representing us all, the whole region, more than just the city of Orlando, more than just the county. She was representing the whole area, trying to bring goods, trying to bring services, trying to make sure that our voice was in Congress. By the way, you're doing a great job. So we hope to see that you'll be considered one of these days, maybe like that. Anyhow, so in having said that, that's the federal government. At the state government, it's a lower level where you have to keep tabs on what each of the legislators representing you in the area are doing to bring goods and services, and to bring, for example, one of the big issues we have right now is what? Housing, right? We have a huge issue with homelessness. We have a huge issue with transportation. And housing and transportation go together. So how do we work? How do we make those things happen in Tallahassee? Because most of us do not understand government well enough. It's really hard for us to follow up and to get involved with those guys in Tallahassee, Washington. Is your voice the one who makes a difference? There's a big difference between a commissioner or a mayor calling Tallahassee, Washington, and say, listen, we have this issue and whatnot, and they will pay attention. Compared to thousands of people calling those delegates, those representatives, those levels, and say, we have this issue. They're going to listen. You know why they're going to listen? Because they understand that that's the will of the people. And that's what they're, each one of us are here to represent, to dictate, right? To represent So today's application, what is going on today? What are we watching today? What are we seeing? Let's not take it to the federal level. We had enough. Okay, we hear about that every 5 minutes. Let's go at the state level. How many of you know what kind of legislations are happening in Tallahassee right now that affect us? Okay, one. Property taxes. How many of you have heard about property taxes? What's going on with property taxes? There's a threat out there. I'll take those property taxes away, right? What happens if they take those property taxes away?
Hurts us.
Exactly.
Local.
Why do we think, oh, so many people I've talked to, they say, oh my God, yeah, that's great, property taxes going away. Really? So who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for the firehouses? And mind you, property taxes are not enough to pay for those departments in the municipalities. They're not enough. In the city of Orlando, the revenue we get is about 48%. Property tax revenue we get is about 48%. Our cost, property tax of the police department, the fire department is 51%. So we're short by 3%, right? But how can we really have an effect in Tallahassee if we don't know what's going on? We don't call it. So listen, no, that is not happening. When they, in many instances, you hear that, oh, they want to go ahead and increase the exemption, homestead exemption. And people go, all right, less taxes have to pay. That's not a tax cut, ladies and gentlemen. That's a tax shift. Because in order for you to continue receiving the services and goods that you receive in your city, you will have to raise the taxes. Unless you want us to cut from police officers and firefighters and picking up your garbage. More than 60% of those guys that are in Tallahassee have never worked at local level government. We need to have people that have representatives in one way or the other at the local government. That's one of the blessings of Congresswoman Devins. She was a police officer for many, many, many years. Let's not say many, many.
What you said.
But she understands the needs of the people. She went in those households when she saw people needing food. She saw people that cockroaches in some places and other places, very, very nice. So she saw the whole realm of our statues as citizens, as living people. She saw the pains and she saw the happiness on some sides and the ugly truth of the pain of not having enough in others. And with those mindset, she goes to represent. That's what we do here. We represent our level. We don't dictate, once again, we represent. So what I'm trying to tell you today is let's learn about how to navigate government. So let me give you some tips. All right? As a matter of fact, we have an academy, a government academy, totally free. And where's your CF? Your CF is in the house. Come on, raise your hand. Okay. So your CF is in the house. So you see it accredited this academy. So when you graduate, you get 2 continued education credits. You see it. It doesn't cost you a cent. You learn everything that you have to learn about government. Federal government all the way down to the local government, to the appraiser, to the collector, judicial system, everything that you have to know so you can learn how to navigate government. What is that going to do for you two? That's going to teach you how to pick the right people to represent us. The people that understand the needs that you have, because a lot of people speak pretty, they look pretty, and then they go over there and they'll come back and check with the local government to see what kind of needs you have. And they start speculating. And we get in the mess that we have today. Because we need for them to listen to us. All people become fanatic about government. Government is not about being fanatic. Government is about being responsible. Because at the end of the day, we should not be dividing ourselves because you're Republican and Democrat. We should be working together. That's what's happening in America today. We're dividing each other. What happened? We're going across the aisle and talking to Neil generation. What happened? With Clinton, with Barack Obama, with Bush, whatever happened with that? Those were, the Republicans and the Democrats. It's not happening. But anyway, let me come back to the city. Right? Let me not get too much into politics here. So, how do you navigate government around here? The first thing, if you come from a different country, you may want to have, if you don't have a contact in government, you may want to make a direct contact with the Chamber of Commerce. Because the Chambers of Commerce, they know how to navigate. They have the contacts at the different levels of government. You need an accountant and you need an attorney. There's no way around it. You need an accountant because you're going to be asked for statements. You need an attorney so you understand what kind of contracts are you doing. But once you have that, hopefully somebody will come to your commissioner. And your commissioner will set up this nice table for you, right? And say, okay, what is it that you need? Are you building? Are you buying? What is it that you need to do? He's going to bring you the planning department, he's going to bring you the permitting department, he's going to bring you a code enforcement, he's going to bring you everything to understand how to do business for the city, economic development. And that's where you got it. Most people don't know this, and they go into doing business on their own. Something I advise everybody is before you even do all this, you decide there's a place that you're interested in, get to the police department, find out how's crime in that area. Make sure, because if there's crime, business is not going to prosper, which is it? The city will only get that door. We'll take care of it. But we will take care of business seriously. We have our police department very involved. But you need to do that. You need to make sure where you're moving. If you're just looking for residents, you want to know where you're going to move to. So get with the police department. If it's in the city of Orlando, get with the police department. Then you get, like I said before, you know, the chamber, you're going to know somebody in government. But if you do, then meet with your commissioner. Most people, most businesses, I hear of new businesses, landing, development. The commissioner probably meet them because they don't really know they have a commissioner that can help them with facade grants, with grants for, give me a second, I'm having a 50 plus years. Don't call it sin. It's not a sin, it's a library. So impact fees, okay? Plus all the grants. If you're in the downtown in the CRA, there's all the grants. And WBA, you can get up the MEBA grant. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities. But most people don't know this. I've come to and talked to thousands of businesses. I said, did you get one of our grants or a set grant? I said, what is it?
Okay.
So because they don't know that the first stop should be the local government. So in addition to that, you have other resources. You have the National Entrepreneur Center. Anybody from the National Entrepreneur Center? No. Chambers, as I said, Prospera. Anybody from it? So these are agencies that can help you. Prospera will help you doing your business plan. Okay, the chamber will put you in contact with different people. They'll come over and they'll take you, whatever. They even help you find places sometimes. So in connecting you with other resources. If you need somebody to print for you or to build for you, they put you in contact with different companies. And of course, I'm not going to leave out because I'll get in trouble when I go home. Papa, Puerto Rican office, federal affairs office. Okay, because that office, if you come from Puerto Rico, for example, they will guide you. These are different resources. We teach all this. Government teaches all this. People just don't know, and we do it in different languages. French, Creole, you know. So that is at hand. You should take advantage of it. And those of you that are here today, please become ambassadors and pass on that information. And since I see some of our people, you know, other levels of government, I gotta say, in Gary, we have our, you know, federal government, we have our delegates, the Senate, the office of Darren Soto, Alexander Maxwell. You can contact those offices too. Well, if you have some issues you have to address, especially, you know, there's a lot of veterans around here that they don't know what kind of rights they have. People from Puerto Rico that are veterans, they don't know how to contact, how to get involved, how to go to the veterans hospital and start some sort of relationship with them over there. we have the resources, but we have to go back to the principle of communication and cooperation. We have to talk to each other. And that's my short, quick, to the point presentation. God bless you. Thank you for the opportunity. You have a great day.
To recognize the commissioner for many years of work on the service, for his presentation and the knowledge that he shared with us as well. And we really appreciate it, regardless of where he goes, we're gonna go. Right? Again, this is not about, green, red, Republican, Democrat, it's about representation. We, one of us there as well. At the table. I really believe.